Good evening. It's Tuesday, January 24th, 2023. Can you believe it? 2023. I'm here, you are here, so we must be in the right place. Good evening, 6:30, and we will now begin the VPC Valley Photo Club Zoom membership meeting after just a few words. VPC is a group that collaborates on photos, ideas, critiques, and techniques. VPC holds monthly Zoom meetings where suggestions on improving photographs are heard. We do have guest speakers from time to time, and they present on short learning sessions having to do with cameras, gear, and software. Please, as a member, contact me if you would like to share something about your photography with the group, maybe on your workflow process, maybe on editing, in an upcoming Zoom meeting such as this. Did you know VPC requires no dues for membership? Currently, there is no plan for that to change. VPC is not a nonprofit 501c3. VPC is of its membership and for its membership. And thank you for those that are here today for your participation tonight. Topic, Project 365. How are you doing with your 365 photos? It is nearing the end of the month, and I think I'm going to post a January album to my Facebook soon. Show you my progress. We have homework for the next meeting on February 28th. Mark your calendars, the fourth Tuesday of the month, February 28th, where the special topic will be related to Valentine's Day. Hearts, flowers, bouquets, roses, date night. Can't wait to see those photos. Fancy dinners, doves, candy, chocolate, boxes of chocolate, heart-shaped balloons, bows and arrows, pictures of boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, wives. Get the idea? Something romance, something Valentine's related. We're ready to begin the meeting. We have a slideshow, and we're going to view 12 photos this month. Slideshow shall begin as soon as I figure out how to share the screen. It's been too long. Wait, the host is disabled sharing. My goodness. Anyone can share. There we go. Done. So one flub tonight so far. Let's see if I can share this screen. Movies. Optimize video, optimize sound, and here we go.
Oh, good.
This month's entries.
Nice.
Nice.
By the way, we have 3 or 4 new members to the Facebook group this past month. I want to thank you guys for the referrals. 2 of them were referrals. So you're out there taking photos and you talk to people about the club. They seem to be listening. Thank you. We've got photos to share. Well, first I'll tell you, anybody in the room like jazz?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have something coming up at El Portal Theater or El Portal. I don't know how you pronounce it. Let me get the share going again. And my friend Jay Irwin there asked if I would just pass along this information. So I'll put this on the screen for a tiny bit. You can jot down the date. I'll be there taking photographs. Make that bigger. I think that's legible, correct?
Yeah.
You can go to the elporteltheater.com and read more about it and see what Michael Carvin has to offer you.
What type of jazz is it?
It's a small room. I don't know details. I'm just a photographer. I'm going to wear earplugs.
He doesn't listen to the music. He just takes pictures of the people.
Exactly. I let you see the music. We're going to have the Monroe Room, which seats very few people, and there's some cocktail tables available as well. So I just wanted to pass the word. February 5th, if you're not doing anything else there in the NoHo district, and it's a lovely theater. Get there a little bit early and you should find parking on the street, no problem.
Cool.
Our first photo tonight is going to be after the rain, Lotus Bouquet, Hanoi, North Vietnam. Let's see if I am in the right groove here. I have to go pick that photo. There we go.
Lovely.
So I'd like to change it up just a little bit this meeting. If the maker of the photo is present.
Yes, she is.
One moment. Can we hear from them first? What they're feeling? What attracted them to this particular subject for a photograph? Maybe share with us their intent. What did they want us to see? Just give us an overall, how you feel as a photographer, you're presenting your work to us as a group. And then we can have a lighthearted conversation.
Well, I have a problem if I want to back.
So,
Okay, this is my photo. I'm Nora. And it has a lot of symbols for me. Lotus flower is the symbol of Vietnam. I've been out of Vietnam for decades, and I finally was able to visit the country where I was born. I'd never been to North Vietnam, and finally I went to North Vietnam. And as probably everybody knows, it's a tropical country. It rains. There are two seasons, a rainy season and a stronger rain season. That's, it's hot and hotter, that's all.
wow.
And so it was, we were out walking and suddenly we got caught up with the rain. We had to go under a tree, and 5 minutes later, fine. And there was a lady, there was a merchant, a street merchant with her display on a bicycle, and she had those flowers. There were some pink lotus flowers and some white one. I prefer the pink for the flower, for the photo. And so you see the rain, which I go up with constantly with rain, and you have also the lotus. So for me, it's important. Maybe for you guys, it doesn't mean anything, but
Beautiful.
It's an interesting.
It's very beautiful.
Very pretty. Very nice composition. Very beautiful composition.
I love the story. That's a beautiful story.
Yeah, I
And
enjoyed it
I
too.
love the raindrops all over it.
yeah, and that doesn't come from my spray bottle. It did come from the rain.
That's okay.
I like the forward focus that you have on it, where everything is sharp from the very front of the image to the middle, and then it fades a little bit, and that really makes that whole front stand out.
Thank
It
you.
is just beautiful.
Nicely done.
It's really,
You're-
really
you're-
beautiful, nice.
Your shutter was wide open, I see. You're running a good lens there, 1.5. You shot at 1/290th of a second, and you use spot metering. Beautiful composition.
Okay, I have to make a little confession.
Yes, smartphone.
Yes, it's
I got the-
iPhone 13.
Oh,
It's just absolutely an amazing one, amazing camera. I understand the 14 is even better.
That's what I hear, and I think my phone heard that the 14 was out and decided not to take every call like it should. So I think Apple has determined that I need a new phone.
As rightly it should.
I think I think the new camera is just terrific.
Okay, did you run this through post-processing at all? Maybe touch it up?
Yes, I did. No, let me see. I don't remember if I did.
You can lie to us. We're not going to.
No.
I don't think you did.
I think, I downloaded and I did use some Photoshop.
Ah.
On
Did you-
Camera Raw
Yeah,
and
you
then the
What
regular.
did you do? Do you
I
remember what you did?
probably use texture, clarity.
And a
Yeah,
little-
the texture is jumping out at us, so.
Maybe it's a little too much. Sometimes I
Oh,
get a
no, I
little
like it, I
excited.
like it.
not
It is
too much.
Very- It looks
It's
real.
not
I
jumping.
cannot hear you.
I said, no, that's not too much.
Okay.
No, it isn't.
I did the
looks real.
vignette.
Oh, really?
There's a vignette there. It doesn't show very much, but it does.
That's
There is a little bit.
Oh, that's the background. You can see it better. Yeah.
I can see the vignette.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's about
But
it.
adds
Yeah.
to it.
Go to the
Very
next.
nice.
It's okay.
Very
Our next photo, I know the maker is here. It's titled Bighorn Sheep.
Wow.
Wow.
Lovely.
Looks like you
Um,
took lunch.
I didn't
Wow.
get to stand still that long.
Lloyd, may we hear about it?
Well, yeah, the background is the Yellowstone River. And it's nicely blurred, which is what I wanted, but I like that it was the river kind of background, the grayish. The sheep were near Gardner where we were staying, and this is one of the older rams, and really tough. Obviously, you can see where his horn's been chipped, and he's got a little scar on his nose, a couple of scars on his nose. And when these guys smack heads, which I got to see a few times, you can hear the sound from like a half mile away. It's
Wow.
just, and they raise up. Sometimes they raise up on their hind legs and give themselves an extra shove, if you will, to make that contact, and then they stand about 2 feet apart, and I'd swear their eyes were rolling in their heads because of the contact, or at least they would be from me. But this guy was maybe 25 yards from me. He was coming up the slope towards me.
Wow.
I didn't really mean to be that close, but he came my way, and so I was protected a little bit behind a bush and to the side. But he's just a magnificent animal, and it was just beautiful to be anywhere near him.
Lloyd,
to get that
amazing.
kind of a shot straight on, Lloyd, holy
know.
cow. It's a
Ah,
beauty.
it's
It's a beauty.
scary. To
How
me,
far
it's
away were you, Lloyd?
All your shots that I've seen are just magnificent, National Geographic type photos. Beautiful.
Lloyd, how far away were you?
Maybe 25 yards.
unbelievable.
Looks like he's staring right at you.
Oh, man.
I believe he was.
A lot of times,
I'd be scared out of my mind, Lloyd.
a real,
If you do close up, can you see his image in Lloyd's image in his eye?
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, with a bullseye on my chest.
Oh,
Look at that. Look at that.
did he?
Oh, what a beauty.
Once he saw you, did he go the other way then, Lloyd?
No, he walked right towards me, but to the side. He was about 10 yards where he walked alongside me and went up the hill.
No kidding. Oh my God.
Did this,
Yeah, and I just stayed still because I didn't want to,
You didn't want to butt heads with him?
no, and I've done that enough in life with people. I don't want to try it with a big.
Beautiful shot.
was
Beautiful.
there much time spent in post?
What's that?
Was there much time spent in post?
No,
Oh,
Mm.
what camera?
not a lot. I did. I used masking to mask a subject and gave him a little bit more exposure. And I did a negative mask on the subject to reduce the exposure of the background a bit because I wanted him to stand out.
Yeah.
Beautifully done.
Oh, it's terrific.
Okay, so
Great job.
there's no
What
critique.
camera did you
I
use?
think there should be like a National Geographic show.
Lloyd, what
Yeah.
camera did you use?
What's what?
What was your camera?
Oh, I have an OM1 and I was using the 150 to 400 millimeter lens. And I don't remember exactly what focal length I was at that point.
Can't
Wow.
tell
I
you.
wasn't far away.
We're missing metadata on that, so I can't help you.
Yeah. But like I said, he was close. So I was, that most of the frame was him.
Wow.
Wow,
On to the next photo,
Lovely.
unbelievable.
which is titled Foggy Morning. The maker is here. I hope the maker will speak of their photo for a short moment. First of all, where?
Hmm. That's a beauty. That's a beauty.
It's
That's
beautiful.
North
You
Bend,
feel it.
Washington. We took my grandson, he's 13 now, but he was maybe 3. We took him to the park, but we couldn't see anything because it was so foggy.
Hmm.
But it's okay because he fell asleep. And it was like amazing as the fog started lifting, the sky turned blue and white clouds and beautiful.
Oh,
And at the same time, he woke up. We had fun.
oh.
Very
Did-
nice. Nice
While he was
picture.
sleeping, we went out, both me and my husband, we went out and we were taking all kinds of pictures.
Helene, did you give it like a white vignette around it? I like that feel.
Yeah, I did. I lightened the whole thing. The natural picture, you can see, there was a little bit of green to it and you could see some trees in the background, but it looked kind of busy.
Ah,
And so I lightened it. And yeah, I've been
I
playing
like
with
it.
the vignette thing on Topaz Studio. And yeah,
I like the vignette. It's really, really
Yeah.
nice.
thank you.
Just
Like a
stand out.
postcard,
And
What?
like a postcard you could write on the back, like wish you.
Mm.
had it.
Oh,
It's really pretty.
I
thank
really
you.
love that there's a second tree that you can just barely see. So you know it's not alone.
Yeah, and you know what? If this was bigger, you could see on the left, there was another tree. I didn't know
Yep.
whether to kind of make it disappear totally or bring it out more, so I just kind of left it.
Hmm,
I think it's just
There.
right.
yeah.
Me too.
Isn't there a name for it? That called high key?
Second tree give you depth of field. It's mean like 3G.
Oh, well, thank you. And high key, I don't know.
There's no black, no dark grays in it. So it's
Yeah,
high key image.
yeah. Yeah, I can't remember totally everything I did, except the things that I told you. It's really true.
Hmm,
There was just a slight green to the grass but the trees in the background were just kind of busy looking, even though you could hardly see them. So I just lightened it enough to kind of get rid of them.
The feeling of it, I just feel like I'm right there in that fog. It's so great.
And it was real cold,
Mm,
but it was amazing. You know, it was like a Disney show. The kid woke up, the sun came out, and beautiful blue sky. Yeah.
mm,
Our next photo titled Larry, Curly, and Mo. I believe the maker is here and should be talking about it.
Oh, Larry, Curly, and Mo.
I was gonna call it three butts and I just like that, so I ended up with
That is
Three
funny.
Stooges I grew up on, Larry, Curly, and Moe, but I was going to this park frequently and I just had to be there early, but it's not that often that I would get 3 deer
Mm,
in a portrait like this. They're usually kind of covering each other, hiding each other, protecting each other. And I was just excited, and it's real hilly. And
mm.
it didn't work to straighten it out because the one on the right obviously looked like he was falling over. But, anyway, it just was a special moment to me. I get so excited when I see these mule deer. I just think they're so cool, and
Yeah,
something was funny about them.
Yeah.
I
Lovely.
like it having 3 in it is really nice.
Yeah. And it's funny too that the one on the Mo on the right is all kind of brown and the others are gray, and they
Mm.
were all close to the same size.
Yeah.
I like that Mo has his hoofs up.
The deer on the left that's looking at the other 2 is it's a nice story here.
Yeah. And there's always one that's doing that, and just with all the pictures I have, there's always one that's kind of being the mother or something.
Mm, yeah.
Or the security guard.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is that a local park or?
Yeah, in Santa Clarita called Whitney.
Oh, Whitney's fun.
Actually, oh no, I'm sorry. It's Towsley. Sorry.
I've not been.
Right on the 5.
Well, not on the 5.
What street
Right
is,
next to it.
what off ramp is it near?
Calgrove. It's not far from Stevenson's Ranch.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Should check it out. That's a good field trip. Maybe I'll
Yeah.
one down. What's the name?
Whitney. Oh, I'm sorry, Towsley. Sorry,
Ah.
Towsley. Yeah.
Can you spell that?
Towsley.
Okay. Okay,
There's plenty of parking.
I took my notes.
What do they have there?
There's some good hiking there. There's several different trails in different
You realize that was Helene that asked, right?
What do you see? What do you see?
I'm looking forward to this spring to see the lupins. Back in 2017, after it rained, we had a fire here, and I could walk a half a mile and see lupins up and down and everywhere. I thought it was in the Alps. I've never
Oh,
seen
wow.
them. So I can't wait this year, and I've seen some beginning of lupins already, but I don't know, I just love hiking, and you see all kinds of plants and critters, and it's relaxing.
If I may.
Yeah.
If I may.
Did you do any post-production at all?
Yeah, I played around with I darkened the grass a lot. I darkened the tree on the left. I tried to get rid of it, but if I did, then the composition didn't
It has
well.
great,
So
great framing and balance right now.
yeah, so I kind of had to include that, and
Yeah.
I did a lot of cloning, this and that, but
Green onion and shredded carrot on the.
Nice choice.
Yeah.
We'll move on to the next photo. The maker is here. Vintage meat grinder. Or vintage bicycle bell. vintage or vintage 2x4 plank. I don't know. There's a lot going on here, vintage.
Yeah.
You know, Ned?
Yes, this is from my recent trip. This is a meat grinder. It's remind me what we had long time ago. And when my mom was preparing something, I was moving this hand for her. It's some touch my, it's like old childhood.
Mm.
It was nice.
Yeah, I
to
grew
see
up with one of those too.
It was nice to see this. It was in Germany, and we were working in some restaurant, and they had this in front of the restaurant.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's right.
So it was old bicycle and an old meat grinder.
It looks to me like they're making applesauce that morning.
It was over there. Somebody put this. So
Yeah, another way to make applesauce. It's okay.
yeah. Juice, apple juice.
There you go. Post-production, you want to tell us?
It's mostly no post-production. It was a raw file, and it was a simple adjustment in the raw file. That's all.
Excellent. And you used your Fujifilm XH1, right?
Oh. It's a film shot.
No, Fujifilm camera,
Oh, okay.
the XH1.
Ah,
Really?
If you can make it out on the right-hand side of the screen, we have some information.
ah.
Shot with a telephoto. Shot at ISO 1000. Looks beautiful for ISO 1000.
Wow. But there was no, nothing to sharpen it or anything, was there? It's just so sharp.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, considering an f-stop of 5.6, there's really a lot that is in focus. And then you have this nice bokeh on the lower right. And in the rear there are the light colored fall.
Yeah, I try to keep this in focus and blur everything, whatever is behind on the wall, on the restaurant.
Yeah, beautifully done.
Yes, it is.
You know, I like well, I can't see what it is on this small screen, but the red berries or flowers, and then on the other side, there's a different kind of red. It kind of, to me, balances it out with the meat grinder and the apple.
Yeah.
Having the red in those places.
Good observation.
Yes,
I
it
love the way
was.
the bicycle handle is cut into the notches of the wood. Or I should say the notches
Oh,
of the wood allow the
yeah.
bicycle handle there.
That's so you can have food to go.
Uber food. The next photograph is titled Weathering the Storm. And I know the maker is here.
Lovely.
This
Wow.
one, it's, I took it up at Point Magoo. I was, I went up to visit some friends that that were camping out on a weekend that was rainy and all of that. And I take my camera everywhere. So when we decided to get out of the rain and go get something to eat, I started seeing these shots. And so I pulled over and just started shooting away. And this was one of those shots. I love action kinds of shots. And with it, you could see the clouds in the background, and you can't really see it here, but there's a teeny little bird.
I see.
He is looking out, and just the whole time I'm watching these
right there.
waves, crash in.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
was just an amazing to watch him. I mean, he was like, okay, the show's on. So anyhow, this was one of the shots that I that I took, and it's say Point Magoo.
It's outstanding. I like the composition.
Yeah.
I love-
Colors.
I love
Very
this
nice.
brush.
It's wonderful.
The crashing wave is remarkable. The color of the stones, remarkable. Very nicely handled in post.
Thank
Very
you.
nice.
Yeah,
And even the composition of the clouds, I don't know how you did that, but it works.
Thank you.
the,
Thank you for sharing this one.
And an R5, huh? Love
It-
that camera, don't you, Jerry?
yeah, I love it. And, you know, with this, there is definitely post-production on it. To help, because it was gray and a little bit foggy. I needed to bring not as much of that kind of mist out that was overall. So I did, you know, work in Photoshop as well as Smart Photo Editor. And then from there, I punched a few things that I really wanted to see, and that was in the rocks and brought out the clouds in the background. So there's a lot of work on it.
Very nice work.
Yeah,
Thank you.
worth it.
Well done, yeah.
Very nice.
May I ask an oddball question for everybody's benefit? No one's going to ask this, but they're thinking it. How long would you say you spent in post?
You know, maybe 45 minutes or so, if that.
Okay,
Because once I start going through my shots and finding the one that I want to work with, then I start having a feeling about where I want it to go. So there was some work, you know, done in my head before I started it. So, you know, maybe 45 minutes of work on it.
yeah, if you leave it to someone else's imagination, they could think as little as 10 minutes, knowing you, or as much as 3 hours thinking you went
Yeah.
back. Very
Plus,
nice.
I had to pull the shot out of 1,000, you know, shots to find the one that I really liked, and you know, to get that kind of splash off to the bottom left, and the wave breaking sort of in the middle there, and there were a lot of things that come into play for my eye that I wanted it, that I discarded the other photos altogether. So.
Can I take a moment to say something? And Leonid, pay attention. I thought that the next photo was going to go into our category of motion and vintage. And I just want to point out that the numbers for the photos that you enter, number 1 will always relate to the open category. Prefacing your title of your photo for me with a number 2 will always be a special topic, or open if open's a special topic that month. So please excuse today's out of order. We saw a vintage meat grinder, and then we saw Weathering of the Storm. And Leonid has provided 2 photos. Thank you, Leonid. But we're going to see his number 1 photo a little later on. But with that in mind, please understand the remaining photos are that of the special topic having to do with motion or vintage. So our next photo is titled Fast as the Wind.
Oh, lovely.
There's emotion.
Blur.
That is a hard picture to take.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not
Yeah,
from
it was
Blake,
Very hard.
fun.
not
Is that
from
Santa
Blake.
Anita?
Yeah,
Is it really? Yeah, I can tell from the background, the hills behind there.
yeah. You know what? This wasn't a race. This is before the race or races.
Ah,
It was a photo day. I went with people, but I thought, ooh, let me try panning. And I took a bunch. There was another one that I've shared, you know, a couple different places, but I didn't want to do that one because I thought it would be boring because some people saw it. But this was cool. I don't know. On the computer I'm on, the picture is very small, maybe about 3 by 4. But he's got fringe. I wish it was blowing a little bit more, but his fringe, yeah. And in some of the pictures it was a little more, but this one the horse was sharper and he was sharper. So I went with it.
Oh, wow.
Very
I
nice.
also
Really nice
tried
job.
panning in Pasadena a few weeks ago, and some of them kind of came out, but I don't think they came out as good as this one. So there you have it.
yeah, the jockey is so sharp. Congratulations.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Elaine,
Yeah,
Can I be nitpicky and ask about this right here?
What?
okay, yeah, I missed it. You know what? There was a railing. But you know, if you see over on the left, there's lines too.
I don't have
So
a
there were
problem with it.
lines just automatically.
I'm
There
just
was
asking.
another, there was a white railing on the bottom with dirt under it. And I got rid of the the white railing. That green part that you're looking at, I don't know if I did anything to that.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I did on the bottom, the sand, the dirt.
It looks like you cut something and put over.
Yeah, I don't know. There wasn't really anything there. The picture was a lot bigger and I cropped it. So I don't know. I'd have to look at the original to see if there was anything there. But you know, some of that,
This was shot with your SX60, your Canon PowerShot SX60.
yeah,
Amazingly, at 1/25th of a second at FA, you did a beautiful job panning.
thank you.
Beautiful job. Really beautiful job. I mean, the detail in this rider
Oh,
is outstanding.
oh, that
See,
is
it's
so
fringe.
hard.
Outstanding.
Good
Thank
job.
you. It's fun doing it. Although if it's too bright out, I can't get the speed and exposure right. I've tried it, and like the pictures I was saying in Pasadena a few weeks ago, the cars were sharp, but the pictures were kind of light. I mean, I darkened it, but I'll probably post them sometime, but they weren't my favorite.
What was your shutter speed?
1/25th.
Yeah, go ahead, Jay.
1/25th, shot at FA, ISO 100. A third of a stop down on the exposure bias. And focal length of 18, multiply that by 5 for that camera. So 100 millimeter.
Can you tell how far away I was?
That's funny.
Yeah, maybe when I think about it, I'll post this with the original. You know, it is brighter. I shoot dark, so I tend to make them brighter because I like them brighter. So,
Let me
but
get to the next photo and preface that this is a category 1 photo in the open category is what I should have said. And then we go back to motion. This is girl with music.
Hmm.
Oh, nice.
Beautiful in black
Nice.
and white. Yeah,
Very moody, very nice.
I love
Very
the black
nice.
and white.
Tell a
On
story.
the wall are great.
It
Thank
tells a
Yeah.
story.
Huge amount of emotion in this photo. Leonid, let's hear what attracted you to it.
Yes, I took this picture in Scandinavia, in Danish, in country on the we were riding the ferry and the girl was sitting and watching music. So it was, I took a picture, then I added all this shadow from window, all this stuff around and created this portrait of the girls. So it's some work in Photoshop, but the girl was so nice and so was interesting face and everything. So
when I see a shot like this, it always comes to mind, was this your only shot? You just nailed it on the first try?
yes,
Take
this
2
was
or 3.
all the shot.
Only shot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Look at the emotion you caught. Her eyes open. She's literally, in my opinion, in La La Land. She is very,
Yeah,
she's
yes.
contemplating on something.
But the shadow from windows, everything I added is creating the mood by itself.
Yeah, you did.
So all this line is like a shadows from the window.
Ah,
But this
I-
was
I like
this was
the-
created on Photoshop.
Beautiful. So did you say that you added the kind of lines,
Oh yeah,
the soft lines?
yeah. This lines is a shadow from the window.
Oh, so you didn't add those. Those were
No,
part of
I
the
did.
shot.
I did.
Oh,
I
you
did.
did? Ah,
Yeah.
oh, wow.
From
Beautiful.
another shot, Leonid?
No, not from another shot. They have like in the movies, they have this different when they shoot the movies, they have these screens like which is they put in front of the subject and created like window shadows.
Oh,
Overlay.
Yes, it's overlay. There's a special overlay which is created with different windows and different
Oh,
view.
wow.
And
very good choice.
Oh,
Very good
nice.
choice. Yes.
and you
Nice.
can pick up. It's always in a portrait. Create some mood. Create some.
Yeah,
Mhm.
beautiful
I
choice.
like the vest with a checker, I don't know, ginger what? How do you call those little
Gingham.
squares on her jacket?
Gingham.
Gingham, yes. And it's kind of it echoes the shadow of the window.
Mm.
Yes,
It's
I think,
like its light is going from the window, and the frame of the window create these shadows.
I think we have a takeaway here about making a portrait even better.
Yeah,
Very artistic. There's a lesson to be learned here. I'm glad you shared this. This is beautiful.
oh, yeah.
Like street photography, you would say.
It's a beauty.
And now we're going to go back to motion. Instead of emotion, we're going to go back to motion. We're looking at someone who is not present at the meeting. Motorboat motion. Motorboat motion.
Wow.
Ah. Because that's not panning, but okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't say there's any panning here.
no, you got the motion because you got the water.
At the water splashing. I love the
Yeah.
reflections of the water too. The lower one here with the big bubbles.
Yeah,
They're shot fast enough to capture them in midair like that. My only
Cool.
recommendation here is to step back 5-10 feet and get a little bit of where to go.
Yep.
Just a little bit of where to go. But I can understand the framing here. Got the tail of the wake. I like the shininess of the water here. This is just look at the sprigs of water here.
The ripples make it too.
Yeah,
are those full-size boats or are they models, you know? Can you tell?
they look to me like RC, don't they? Remote control.
That's what I
do.
thought too, but I don't
And
know.
remote control makes that big wave,
That big of
spray?
a wake? Yeah, we've seen it at Lake Balboa. I'm pretty sure this is Lake Balboa.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
The water's dirty.
Oh, come on.
Come on, look at the color of the water. I don't know how anyone eats those fish they catch. Look at the color of the water down there.
Not Hawaii.
Yeah, these are RC. There's the antenna.
Oh,
That's quite a wake for a little boat, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But the ripples look smaller. That's why I thought it wasn't a real boat.
I think that's your photo right there.
yeah. I do
I
too.
think that's your photo right there.
I like that crop a lot.
Yeah. All right. Hopefully the maker will see the YouTube and learn something from that. Yeah, that's a good crop right there, right as we end it. That really makes it.
Yeah.
I'm going to move to the next one. I don't know if the maker's still here. Let me look at my list of participants before I actually show this one. Nope, he had to break away. He had to break away, so we're just going to get to look at it. Title,
Cool.
Red Ferrari.
Good motion.
That looks really cool.
Zoom.
Nicely done. Mm.
I don't know how it was done because this wheel looks like it was followed in the pan. And then you've got this hubcap that's reiterated, what, 6 or 7 times.
Oh,
But you have this sunspot reiterated maybe once. And wow, it's unique, isn't it?
Underneath the car too. How'd they do that?
Yeah, everything here has some like 6 or 7 reiterations, and then it stops here.
mm.
It's right where it should be.
What is reiteration?
A repetition,
Oh, why didn't you just say repetition?
because this is on YouTube and I want to sound smart.
I don't understand. I don't see any repetitions.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 pyramids here, if you want to call it that, or triangles in the lane term.
Can you make it wider?
1, 2, 3,
Oh.
6. There's repetition in the door
Yeah.
step. And when we
It
come
wasn't going
wheel.
forward.
when we come over to the wheel, there's very little, if any, reiteration. There's a blur here.
Maybe he wasn't going forward. Maybe he was doing donuts, and that's why you see
Yeah,
the
yeah.
being different on the front being.
Oh,
But that's contrary to what the background is telling us.
That is true.
Yeah,
There's this pan distance right here from here to here. From here to here.
Maybe there was something
You're
by
right.
the tire that he kind of photoshopped in a way that, I don't know,
Hmm.
makes it like that.
Well, the maker's very capable in Photoshop, but I just think this is a really unique pan. I think it's because it was going on a diagonal.
Hmm.
Although the road, it's hard to tell. I like it. I like it. We're gonna go to the next photo, which is the second to the last. River runs through the creek. I know the maker's here, so we'll hear a little story.
So I hike at this place. This is Whitney, and I hardly recognized it. A river has just taken over this place, and we got very wet and had to cross the river so many times to get to the very end. And unfortunately, my picture doesn't even convey all the motion there, but it used to look nothing like this weeks ago.
Hmm.
Gee.
And it's like so many hiking places up here where I went to see the waterfalls. They're rivers. It was just amazing. And I don't think we got that much rain up here in comparison just with some other areas. But boy, it was great to see.
this was in Santa Clarita.
Yes, yes.
So it was when we had all that heavy rain.
This was like a week ago.
Yeah.
And even though it wasn't raining then, it's all the water coming down,
Yeah.
gravity. And I've just been amazed at the waterfalls around here and that there are rivers everywhere. I don't know about this week as much, but this water was so loud. I even took video
Ah.
and it was loud.
There's almost like 2 pictures in one here. There's this photograph here, and then another, it's like a double decker.
It was like 3 levels right here.
Yeah, am I right?
Yeah, yeah.
Level here and a level here. And a
Yep.
level here.
And level there, yeah. I
Wow.
just like the way the branch was coming across of it. I took many different shots from different angles, and I wish the water looked more like it was really moving, and it was just, like I said, really loud.
Here you have a wooden alligator.
I
Oh.
thought that was a hippopotamus.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I like that kind of crappie. too.
Unicorn. It's a unicorn. Alligator unicorn.
oh.
And then you have a corn on the cob right here.
Oh.
Oh, that's interesting.
Wow.
The photo has a lot to offer.
Yeah.
There's no one eye catch here. It's got me roaming everywhere, just looking for where's Waldo.
The only eye catch to me is just that limb that's reaching out to me and kind of grabbing me in, kind of giving a little bit of a leading line, but it was chaos there, that's for sure. It was pretty scary crossing some of the water. It was just rushing so fast.
I bet.
How deep was it?
Don't really know. I'm walking over rocks, and you have to kind of touch the rocks with your walking sticks and make sure they're not going to be moving much or at all. So
Yeah,
I could
no,
guess a foot
you
or two, deeper in
Was the
some
path very
areas.
muddy?
I'm sorry.
Was there a lot of mud on the path?
There was some, but I mean, I had real waterproof hiking boots on, but I just couldn't believe how there were rivers just everywhere up here. And I can imagine down in San Fernando Valley, it was the same, but I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
To get out after the rains like you did, there's so many opportunities like this because you don't get to see it very often.
yeah.
I'd like for us to collaborate on that when, there's just a few of us that are local to one another. We can get together on those sorts of outings.
Mm.
Yeah.
You can still invite me.
We have our very last photo for the evening coming up. I know so many auto mechanics, and this would just be heartbreaking. Rusty camshaft.
Oh, the colors are just wonderful.
This was actually after I went up to shoot the waterfalls up here in Santa Susana Pass, and in order to get up to those waterfalls, it was right after the big rains. You go by this old rusty truck, and so on the way to go shoot the waterfalls, I got a few shots of this old rusty truck, and I just I love the look of it. So I took several shots, and then again I worked on it in post-production in the smart photo editor to create it, and then I put in the darkness coming through the top and off to the side, so you really tried to force the eye more into those those rocker arms and things like that. So
right here is where I'm looking first and foremost. I come right here.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do.
Well, you succeeded. I look right.
Good.
I love the saturation, the gold and the it's almost like acid is here.
Yeah.
Like battery acid kind of corrosion, and the rust and the purple. It's very nice artistic approach.
Thank you.
Was that what was inside the Ferrari, you think?
It was an old dump truck.
He's got a sense of humor. Well, thank you everyone for the photos that you entered. Much appreciated. And we're going to stop the share and talk a little bit. Remember, we're still on YouTube. We'll come back online. That was fun, huh?
Yeah, some nice work. Really nice work as always.
Listen, a different approach this time. Do you prefer it?
So the artist gets to talk, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice.
And find out their intent and be a little more lighthearted on the critique.
Yeah.
We were constructive today, and I think that was very good. We made suggestions. I'm not gonna mince words. There's a couple of people that just, they didn't show up today, and that speaks louder than words. They felt hurt during the last meeting that
Oh,
suggestions that were made were taken too heavily, I believe. If you present a photo and you like what you have, someone telling you that this bug doesn't belong in the photo should not affect you. The bug was a part of your photo and you wanted it to be there, okay. But if someone saw it and said, maybe you could heal that or make a clone and get rid of that little fly that's off to the left and is an eye catch. If you can't take that, then I feel bad that the critique didn't go the direction it was supposed to go. In other words, intent versus impact. And I apologize for that. So this is a great meeting. Thank you all for being here. Let's say the goodbye to the YouTube people.
Wow.
bye.